Okay, so now we're going to do part 8, number 1. So this is on empirical formulas. We're going to learn how to do these first, then we will be using them to use to solve molecular formulas after. So the first thing here we have is number 1, the hydrocarbon, which is a compound containing only hydrogen and carbon, has the following composition by mass: hydrogen 7.69% and carbon 92.31%. We need to calculate its empirical formula. Now, if you look on the beginning part of part 8, I kind of gave you some steps we're going to follow whenever you do a problem like this. We're going to put it in action so it makes more sense. But basically, you're going to assume you have a sample of 100 grams, so you're just going to change the percent directly into grams. And then you're going to divide the mass by the molar mass to get the moles. And then once we have moles, we're going to divide by the smaller of the two, kind of like we did in the last problem for a hydrate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find a number that we can kind of associate. So if it's 0.5, we might need to multiply by 2. If it's 0.333 at the end, we might need to multiply by 3 and so forth. It'll make more sense once we give it a try here though. So if we look at that first problem, like I said, so what the first thing we're going to do is we'll just look at each at a time here. So we're going to start with the hydrogen. So we know that we have hydrogen, and we know that we have 7.69%. So I'm just going to leave that alone, and that's now going to be grams. Okay, we're going to divide that by the molar mass of hydrogen, which is 1.01 grams per mole. Okay, so if we divide these out, these will cancel. We'll be left with moles here. So we divide that out, we're looking at 7.61. Then we're going to do the same thing with carbon. So with carbon, we have 92.31 grams. Divide that by 12.01 grams per mole. Okay, and we go ahead and divide those out. We're looking at 7.69. Now, we're going to divide by the smaller of the two, which is a 7.61 to both of them. So this one's going to equal 1. You will always have one number that's just going to be 1 because you're dividing by itself. The other one here is where it gets a little tricky. This is going to be slightly above 1, but it's close enough that we can just call it 1. If it's like less than 0.2 or 0.25 even, I would say less than 0.2 generally, you can go ahead and round it down. If it gets to be about 0.25 or higher, then you normally can find a multiple you're going to want to use. So since this is right about 1, I'm just going to round down a little bit. We know that we have 1 hydrogen, 1 carbon, so that formula looks like CH, one of each of them.